On New Canadians TV, we're joined by Mike Savage, the Mayor of Halifax in Nova Scotia, and he's here to talk about emerging economic opportunities in Halifax. Mayor Savage, thank you so much for your time.
Happy to be here, thank you.
So you've been working hard to spread the message of the growing tech economy in Halifax and that there's a budding startup scene in the city. Tell us more about that.
Well, in the last number of years, Halifax has become one of the top tech startup hubs in Canada, and we really weren't sort of 10, 15 years ago. But in the last number of years we have, and we have an organization in Halifax called Volta Labs, which are an awesome sort of accelerator lab, and we've had tons of companies come out of that. We, of course, in Halifax have 7 universities and a community college, so for a relatively small city of 440,000 people, we have a lot of talent. And the startup business has been great. Some of our companies are here now looking for new opportunities, and we're, of course, here to convince people that they have new opportunities in Halifax.
So what's working in favor of Halifax when compared to Toronto or Vancouver? What's the value proposition there?
Our value proposition is very specific. I've been here a number of times and spoken at the Economic Club here about our value proposition, which we call Halifax TLC, which is talent, location, cost, and now we add innovation to that. So Halifax has a lot of talent. Our kids are coming out of school. We're also become a real target for immigrants who are coming to Halifax as well, which they didn't do as much as they used to. So we have talent. We think we have a pretty cool location, you know, being on the ocean. We have a nice quality of life. And the cost piece is really a big advantage. So, you know, we're not here to take jobs away from Toronto or Vancouver, but people are finding opportunities in Halifax. You can get nice office space in Halifax at a fraction of the cost. And what we find, and we spoke to a company this morning, a large company that's looking to come to Halifax in June for a visit, who tell us they're going to open up an office in Halifax, is they like the idea of being able to say to their employees, you can buy a house in Halifax for $300,000. You can live in an apartment in downtown Halifax for, you know, $1,500, $1,700, a nice place with a view of the water. And now the innovation piece. So talent, location, cost, and innovation, that's our pitch.
What kind of industries are looking for talent right now? You speak of innovation. What kind of jobs are in high demand?
Well, we certainly have this, the tech jobs, as well as shared services. Companies are finding Halifax as a place to put their sort of back office shared services. RBC has chosen Halifax in the last few years. They have opened up a major center there. IBM has chosen Halifax as their global delivery center. Mid-sized companies, there's a company here called Lixar, which is now, you know, 200 or 300 people, which has expanded to Toronto and Ottawa. And then there's a whole bunch of small companies. People here at the Collision Conference might know of Athletigen or Kinduct or Proposify or Dash Hudson. These are all small companies that started out with 1 or 2 people, and now there are many, many more than that. And so they're hiring our kids, bringing kids to Halifax. Folks like to live in Halifax. It's a nice city to live in, and it's working out really well for us.
From the aspect of livability in Halifax, infrastructure, housing, what are you doing on those fronts to attract and retain talent?
For 9 of the first 10 years of this century, Halifax's population didn't really grow in the 25 to 39-year-old age category. So what it meant was people came to go to school at Dallas, St. Mary's, the Mount, King's, and all the other schools, but they didn't see opportunities and they left. And quality of life without a job is not a high quality of life. And so what we're finding now is that people are finding jobs and opportunities. We have built one of the nicest libraries in the world, chosen as one of the top 10 new buildings in the world in 2015. We have a beautiful new convention center. Our streets are being aligned for biking and for making us more walkable. The things that young people want. We've always had great bars and restaurants. You'll never, you know, have trouble finding a place to be entertained. So we recognize that public investment helps to spur private investment, and we've spent money on our buildings and in our built community, and it's attracting young people and it's attracting private investment.
And we're seeing a steady stream of skilled workers coming into Canada these years. What is your message to them as the Mayor of Halifax?
There's a lot of great places in Canada that you can go. There's many, many great cities, many, many great mayors. So I encourage you to go to Halifax first, though, and check us out. This pin that I wear is not a pin that says Halifax or Nova Scotia. This pin stands for diversity and inclusion in Halifax. We're very diverse, we're a growing international city, and I think young people, when they come to Halifax, there's a lot to do. We're not a huge city, but we're huge in the hearts of people when they arrive. And we're excited about the opportunities. We want to work with other people, and we want people to come to Halifax, and then we'll do the rest once they get there.
Mayor Savage, thank you so much for your time. Wish you all the best.